I'm sure most of us have come across Google Forms. Some of us might have filled it, some of us might have created it, right? So, uh, the responses from a Google form can usually be downloaded in an Excel or a CSV format. The CSV stands for comma separated values, right? So, what I have here on the screen in front of us is a sample response that I have created, right, from a form which had uh, these columns, which had a name column, a designation column, and the responses for 3 questions where the responses vary from 1 to 5, right, on a scale of 1 to 5. So the respondent can fill any number from 1 to 5 in each of these questions. However, when we extract the data, we notice a problem here straight away, right? So what what the respondents have done due to the way the form was designed or to the way the question was posed is that they have put the name and designation together in one column and they have left the designation column blank. Now the survey creator, they want the average of the response per question by the designation of the respondent, right? So in order to do that, we need to average out the responses for each of the questions according to the designation of the respondent. But we are stuck here because we do not know what the designation is we do not know what a designation is of that particular respondent and how it is different from their name, right? So we need to have the designation in a separate column. We cannot afford having them in the same column as the name. So how do we clean this data? Though there are multiple options to do this, what I will show here right now is a very powerful feature of Excel, which is called text to columns. So what we need to do here is we need to select this range. We need to select the data tab and click text to columns here. Okay. Here you see that there are 2 options. So one is called delimited and one is called fixed width. So as the name suggests, if the 2 parts of the field that we are trying to separate out, they have a fixed width. For example, if the name always consists of 5 characters and the designation always consists of 10 characters, we can go ahead and choose the fixed width option. However, a quick look at the data suggests that both the name and the designation have variable widths and they do not conform to a fixed width situation, right? So we go ahead and select the delimited option here. Now delimited means that the 2 different parts of the column that we are trying to separate, they will have some delimiter in between them or some special character in between them. That delimiter can either be a comma, a dash, a plus sign, whatever, right? So it can be any character, right? So here we see that the delimiter in our case is the and symbol or the ampersand symbol as some people call it. So we'll go ahead with the delimited option here. And so once we click next, we'll have some standard options for delimiters like the tab, semicolon, comma, space. But here our delimiter is going to be the and symbol, right? So we'll go and select and type in and or the ampersand sign here, and this data preview will show us how the data will look like if we separate it out with the ampersand symbol. We'll click next and we'll click finish. So there we have it. We have the name and designation separated out into different columns. However, a closed look at the data will show that there is another problem existing here. We have one extra space before or preceding each of the designation and one extra space after each of the names, right? This might cause some problems in the formatting of the data, and we do not want these spaces to remain there. So again, to do this there are multiple options, but I'll show you a quick practical option to do this is to select the data range, go to or press Ctrl plus H on your keyboard. Ctrl plus H stands for replace, right? So what we need to find here is a single space, and what we need to replace with is no space or nothing at all, right? We'll go ahead and click replace all. So this thing has made 30 replacements. Okay, and we close this. Now can you see another problem that happened here, right? Can you see the problem here? The problem is that when we ask this thing to remove a space, a single space, and replace it with nothing at all, it removed the spaces in between the first name and the last name as well, right? So though the designation is now corrected because it had only one word, the name all got messed up. So what we can do here is we can press Ctrl Z, that is undo the change which we have just done here. Go to the designation column, do a Ctrl H and replace it here. And for the column B, the name, right, we are not able to replace just the single space with plus sign, right? So what we can do here is we can use the trim functionality of Excel. So can use the trim function here. If you read the description of the trim function, it calls out removes all spaces from text string except for single spaces between words, and that is exactly what we want. So we, in column G, what we can do is we can say equal to trim of column B, close it, and drag the formula down. Then what we need to do is we need to paste this data in column B right here. So what we can do here is say copy, paste as values, then copy again and select this range, say paste as values, and remove this. So there we have it. All the trailing spaces from the name is removed. All the spaces from the designation is also removed, and our data is clean and ready for the next step now. Stay tuned to our channel for the information on the next steps, that is averaging out the responses by designation. See you in the next video. Thank you.